Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today has not only made a name for himself as an all-pro partier, but also as a damn good comedian and storyteller. He currently has out a Netflix special, Razzle Dazzles, and the story of how he got his famous nickname is being turned into a feature film. Please welcome the man, the myth, the machine, Bert Kreischer. What's going on, Bert? How are you, sir? How's everything?
Everything's fantastic. It's a pleasure to meet you, man. I'm a huge fan.
Man, please. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see this movie, The Machine, because I saw the trailer and I was cracking up laughing my ass off. I ain't going to lie to you. I can't wait to see this. How did you end up getting that name? Educate everybody, because you're The Machine. Tell us all how you got that name.
Yeah. So we went to Russia when I was 22 years old, and the mafia ran everything back then. That was back in the 90s, 95. Okay. And so they said, we paid off the mafia to keep you safe. And they gave us two young gangsters that live next door to us, and they're going to walk you to class, walk you back from class. And so I'm like, I'm partying with them. I'm definitely partying with them. So I went, got a bottle of vodka, 6-pack of Baltico, which was their beer. And what I meant to say, I got panicked. I see a gangster at the door, and I just messed up, and I just looked at him, and in Russian I said, I'm the machine. And he started laughing hysterically. And then I drank shot for shot with him that night with like all these gangsters. And next thing you know, I'm the machine. What's funny is I was trying to say I'm the man, which is Yamashina, but I said Yamashinu, which means I'm a car. And so he just started laughing.
I got you. You know, you're doing stand up, and you're known for doing stand up. How did that become your calling?
How did that become my calling?
Yes.
You know, I played sports growing up. Baseball. And I played baseball with a guy named Brad Radke. He was a pitcher for the Twins.
Okay, yes, I know.
And I was his catcher. And I remember just the way our parents talked about Brad was different than the way they talked about me. And I was a really good baseball player. And I said that to my dad. I was like, "What? Like, how come no one talks about me like the way they do Brad?" And he goes, "Buddy, with Brad, it's different. It's just special. You got to find that thing in life that is for Brad Radke as baseball. You got to find your thing, and you'll find it. And when you find it, go after it." So I got written up in Rolling Stone magazine in 97, called the #1 party animal in the country. Mm-hmm. It's like 6.5-page article, big article. And this radio station gave me an opportunity to do stand-up. Because I'd said in the article, maybe I'll try stand-up. And the second I got off stage, I got back to my apartment. I called my dad, and I was like, "Yo, I found my thing. Brad's baseball is my stand-up." And my dad was real cool, considering being a dad now and knowing how hard it is to support your kids making bad decisions. He supported me. I moved to New York, and bam, I've been doing it now for 23 years.
Wait a minute now, Bert. What do you mean the #1 party animal? How the hell would anyone know that someone would classify as the #1 party animal? What the hell were you doing that had people saying this is the #1 party animal you can find in the world? How did that come about?
Well, what happened is Rolling Stone had sent a journalist to Florida State to write an article about it being the #1 party school. Yeah. And he needed a chaperone, like someone to take him around. And so he called 5 people at the school. They all said my name because I'd been there, 6.5 years. And so he called me up. And when he called me up, I was in the middle of a bong hit. And he was like, "Are you smoking weed?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got the right guy." So he goes back to write the article, gives it to Jan Werner, and Jan goes, "The story's too broad about the school. Let's just make it about this kid." And so then they just moved things around and just told a story about me being the #1 party animal. And I've been there a long time. I do like partying, and I still like partying.
Is that why you were at Florida State for almost 7 years, man? Because you were partying so damn much? Is that what the reason was?
First of all, this is like the 90s. So you got to remember, like, classes were like $50 an hour. So, like, it wasn't expensive to go to college. Right. And if you didn't know what you're going to do, you just stayed there. I was watching my buddies graduate and then sell carpet in East Georgia. And I was like, that's not me. I'll find it. I'll figure it out. Maybe I got to go to grad school. Who knows? Right. And so I just stayed there. And then all of a sudden, article came out. And I was like, I know what I want to do.
Now, what is this about you doing when you're doing stand-up and you're performing on the circuit or whatever? What is this about you doing your show shirtless? What is that about?
Yeah.
I mean, why have your shirt off at all times? Clearly, you're in warm weather cities most of the time. I'm assuming, but I might be wrong.
No, I've done it shirtless outdoors in Chicago in the winter.
Oh my goodness!
I had to have heaters on stage.
You know that's. I say this affectionately. You know that's a white thing, right? You know you ain't gonna find any black dudes with their shirt off in the cold weather in Chicago. You know that, right? I'm just saying, bro. You do know that, right?
You'd be shocked how many brothers I've gotten shirtless. Gabe Davis. I got Gabe Davis shirtless.
I got you. But go ahead.
Orlando Brown. Shout out to Orlando Brown.
That's right. Absolutely. But why when did that start?
I started taking my shirt off because, I was a young comic and I had 2 kids, and you'd go to like Dayton, Ohio for 5 days, do 6 shows. And that first Thursday you'd get there, there'd be no one in the audience. And I think it's why some comics get cynical and have angry personas on stage, or they're mad or they're bitter. And I just was like, I should remember this is fun, that I'm privileged to do this. I got to remind myself this is a good time. These people paid money to have a good time. So I'd rip my shirt off because it would make me feel silly, and I'd kill a beer. And then one day I forgot to put it back on. And as I'm like 20 minutes into the show and I go to put it back on, and this woman in the back goes, keep it off. And so I kept it off, thinking one day I'd do an hour and put a shirt on, and it would have been like I was swimming in overalls, Like I'd be like, if I can do it shirtless, with a shirt on, I'm going to be a monster.
Right.
Then I realized I'm uncomfortable in a shirt now.
I'm thinking about it because I got to tell you something right now. I was doing my basketball show a few days ago, right? And T.I., the rap artist T.I. that does some acting.
Love T.I.
Who doesn't love T.I.? And he came on my show in studio. And now he's talking about how much acting is a big part of his life now, and he wants to do more of it. Obviously, he's been in a few movies, in American Gangsters, with various other movies as well. And he's doing a lot of good things. He's always doing a lot of good things. But I think about you in this sense. The craziness, the partying, what have you. He's doing, T.I. has decided he wants to do stand-up comedy. He's been on stage and been performing stand-up. People tell me I'm funny, but I would never think in my wildest dreams I could do stand-up comedy. I would imagine you probably thought you could do it, probably felt it was your calling, because you're so used to partying and having a damn good time that the minute you went on stage, you just considered it an extension of a party. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the best compliment people get is they feel like when they come to the show, they're at my house, in my living room, and I'm just telling stories. So first of all, T.I., anything that comes out of that man's mouth are beautiful words, whether he's singing it, whether he's acting it.
Yeah.
And I'd love that he's doing stand-up. And Stephen A. Smith.
Yes, sir.
If you don't think you could do stand-up,
I don't think so.
You are out of your mind. You are out of your mind. Where are you at? Are you in New York?
I'm in L.A. I'm in L.A. right now. I'm in L.A. covering the NBA playoffs.
Okay, that's done.
What? Done what?
You name the day. I'll take you to the store. I'll get you on stage.
I'm not doing it, Bert.
All anyone would have to do, if you did crowd work, and someone said Allen Iverson, you could tell jokes about Allen Iverson.
I don't know,
Maybe
Bert.
Let
me say this to you, Bert. I know. Listen, do I make people laugh sometimes? Yes. I don't think I can do it intentionally. I do it as by accident. The minute I intentionally try to make somebody laugh, it's like at the Apollo. I'll get booed off the damn stage, Bert. I mean, are you trying to get me booed? Is that what this interview is about? You trying to get me booed? Is that what's happening right now?
I got a spot for you at the store. Just try it. You can take your shirt off. It'll make you more comfortable.
Oh, my Lord. I ain't taking my shirt off either. Not yet, anyway. Give me about a month. I've been working out a little bit more. I'm getting my stuff back after shoulder surgery. Give me about a month. I'm going to be scared to take my shirt off. It's 2 types of people that should take their shirt off. Those with physiques, or those who are big and bulky and even fat, dare I say, and they're very, very comfortable with it. You can't be a tweeter. You can't be in between.
I got both, Stephen A. Smith.
You can pull that off. You're a little chunky, right? But it looks good on you. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you lost weight, it would look bad.
Yeah, I'm a weird person in that I like what I look like. I think when I look in the mirror, I just see delts and traps, and I'm like,
you see delts and traps,
see the belly.
not flab or anything like that. I think it's all about the belly. I think if you don't have a pot belly, you can get away with anything. That's just my personal opinion.
Oh yeah, I
think so.
People said that to me if I lose weight, that they go, I don't know if you could take your shirt off anymore. Let me tell you something. I think more people should take their shirt off.
Why? Why are you doing that to America? Certain people take their shirt off, Bert. That would be a grotesque situation to witness, man. Certain people, Bert. We don't want to do that.
I've seen so many shirtless men of different types, different nationalities, different body, ectomorphic, endomorphic.
Oh my Lord.
I've taken pictures with shirtless men with skin tags all over their arms. And then their wives pull me aside and go, you know, he loves you. He would never take his shirt off in front of anyone but you.
You made him brave. You made him brave. Maybe they'll go home and show a little bit more bravery. Who knows what'll happen? But let's get back to you for a second, because before I let you get on out of here, I want to get back to this movie, The Machine, and I want you to talk about what this movie is about and why you believe we're all going to love it so much.
First of all, it's a high-end action comedy. They don't make those like an action comedy like Romancing the Stone, like fun. It's fun. And you know, they're not making comedies anymore. I think people need to get out of their house, go to the movie theater Memorial Day weekend and see this movie. They're going to laugh. They're going to be pleasantly surprised at a comedy that literally takes off like a runaway train. It goes from the second it's a reimagining of my story when I told the story about getting involved with the Russian mafia. There's action, there's thrills, there's blood, there's gore. Mark Hamill snorts coke. I mean, it's awesome.
Wow. You know, I think about it, and on a serious note, I think about comedy, and I was telling T.I. this the other night as well. Comedy is so incredibly important in this day and age. There's so much stuff going on. There's so much divisiveness. There's so much vitriol. Everywhere you turn, people are against one another, whatever. I don't think there's, music is one of those things, no question about it. But one of the great, sports is another, but one of the great things that brings everybody together is laughter, comedy. Yet, lately, we see people going off and, you know, they want to retro everything and talk about what joke was made in 1995 and how it's inappropriate, and looking for apologies from comedians that said something in 2000 or 2005. All of this ridiculous nonsense is driving me crazy when it's stuff like that. As far as I'm concerned, if we're in a society, tell us what the ground rules are now moving forward. Let's move forward and let's live our best lives. And I think the best thing that we can do with the world of comedy is just that. What are your thoughts about what you've been seeing as it pertains to how the world of comedy has been attacked to some degree? Are you concerned at all?
I'm not concerned. Do you know who attacks comedy? People who don't get comedy. People that don't like to laugh. People that want to be miserable. I live in a community with people that love to laugh. I don't mess with the haters and the people that focus on the negative stuff. I got paid a compliment one time that was really poignant. Our friend had lost her father to cancer, and she had been in a bad place for like a month about it. And she came out with a bunch of friends and my wife to see me. I was out at the Comedy Store, and she came up to me after the show, and she was crying. And she said, I haven't been able to take a break from my depression of missing my father until right then. You, for 1 hour, got me to forget about any of that. And wow. I laughed, and I was afraid I was never going to laugh again. Now, here's what I'd say to any of those people trying to cancel comedy and go after comedians. Hey, it may not be your style, but don't take it away from the person going through something who needs it, that reprieve, that moment to take them out of their real life and let them forget about their problems and laugh. Don't take that away. That's selfish.
I totally agree with you. Before I let you get on out of here, just a couple of quick questions I've got to ask you. Is it true you accidentally took a Russian class thinking you were taking Spanish?
Yeah.
How the hell did that happen, Bert? You didn't know that Russian was Spanish was Russian and it's not Spanish?
No, back in the day at Florida State, you get like a real paper, like a pamphlet that had all the classes, and you had to call a number and you had to punch in your number to sign up for your classes. Well, I'm dyslexic. Russian and Spanish were right next to each other.
I was dyslexic too. I never confused Russian with Spanish.
It was RUS and SPAN right next to each other. And I thought I was signing up for a noon Spanish class. So when it said, you've accepted, I never listened to the rest of it because I was like, I got a noon Spanish class. I lived in Florida. We all spoke Spanish. Wow. I can speak Spanish today. Claro. But so I thought I had a winning class. And then I went to the class and I was like, whoa, why are we learning when did Spanish get a new alphabet? And so, but the teacher told me, I need kids to make this class happen. If you stay, you don't have to do anything all semester. I'll just give you a C. And so I sat down. I was like, Strauss Roots, baby, I'm back.
Good Lord. Is it true that you actually had to do some skit or wherever where you were fighting a grizzly bear and the bear sat on your face?
Dude, I fought 2 bears.
Oh,
I fought one for the movie too, and they didn't use it. I fought a bear in Hungary and they said, I swear to God, they go, don't worry, we've set up perimeter lines. And I said, well, what are they? Are they like electric? And they go, no, they're not electric. The bear thinks they're electric. So he won't mess with them. It's just, and they won't show up on camera. It's just dental floss. So they put a dental floss like box around me, thinking the bear wouldn't mess with it. Stephen A. Smith, he walked right through that dental floss, right through it. And I was like, looked at them and they're like, I guess it's not working, but he's fine. He's fine. Dude, I fought 2 bears.
And one sat on your face.
Yeah, well, that was when I was a kid. I was doing a show called Hurt Bert, and he grabbed me, spin me doggy style, had me in a bear hug. I'm looking at the trainer. The trainer's like, "Go limp." I'm like, "Please be talking to me and not the bear." And so I passed out. I fell down, and then the bear just sat on my face. And then they got him off my face. I
got to ask you this question: while he sat on your face, did he pass gas? Did he pass gas?
No, just a polite teabagging.
I got you. Here's another one. Here's another one. They say you have a fear of flying and actually must perform a ritual before you fly of washing every part of your body. Is that true?
Who is doing your research? Did my wife call in?
I mean, she might have. The wife might have called.
Yeah, no.
The wife might have called.
I have a ritual. I have to wash every part of my body, top to bottom. And then I squat down and I say a prayer and I visualize a successful flight. I visualize the health and happiness of my entire family. And then I get up and I clean off. I have to soap every part of my body.
What does the washing every part of your body have to do with alleviating a fear of flying? Is this some holistic measure where you got to cleanse yourself and then pray before you fly? I mean, what is washing every part of your body going to do to help the flight be safer?
It's a baptism. It's a baptism. I'm getting rid of the negativity.
Okay.
I take it off. I scrub it off. Anything from yesterday is gone. We are clean. We are going to the plane. And then when we get to the plane, I take my finger and right before I get on, and I do a little cross on the plane before I walk on.
Last question for you. The Machine, this movie coming out May 25th. What is it comparable to in your mind, if anything at all, in terms of comedy, action flicks, or whatever that you've seen in the past?
It's a throwback to those 80s action comedies like Tango and Cash. With like a lot of action, but it's hilarious.
Sylvester Stallone,
Romancing the Stone. Where the comedy is there, but you're there for the story. You're following the story, and it just happens to be funny as crap. That's the whole thing about this movie. It really, when we sold it, it was pitched as the Godfather 2 meets The Hangover.
I like that. Very last question. A lot of the action parts, I'm assuming stunt folks were involved, but let's say, for example, in some cases they were not. We're going to see some athleticism from you. We're going to see some action thriller moments from you, Bert Kreischer. I mean, is that what we're going to see, buddy? Is that what we're going to see?
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I worked out with him the other day, and he said, "You are the next action star." He did your own stunts, I heard. I had surgery on my elbow.
Right.
Because I was doing all my own stunts. I fall down a mountain, and I blew out my elbow. And then in one of my fight scenes, I popped it, and all the tricep retracted in my arm. I do all my own stunts. There's a portion where one of the guys did it for me. And I'll tell you this: next movie I do, I will not do any of my stunts.
Wow. Why not? I mean, I'm saying that's smart, actually. Well, because why put yourself in harm's way? And by the way, it helps to have a lookalike. Bert Kreischer can get a lookalike. Get a lookalike, man. That's gonna be more work for you.
They had to put a pregnancy belly on him on my stunt guy, and he kept going. I sweat so much, but I'm fat, Bert.
Wow. Bert Kreischer, man, I really appreciate it. Enjoy talking to you, my man. I definitely will be watching this movie when it comes out. Make no mistake about it. And thank you for coming on the show, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Brothers, thank you so much. I am such a fan of yours. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Man, listen, and we're going to get together. Listen, let me know when you're performing in L.A., and I'm going to come to your show.
Oh, and
you're not getting me on stage to try to do stand-up comedy, Bert.
You're getting on stage.
You're not doing that to me, Bert. Come on, man. Don't do that to me. Get me booed off the stage. I appreciate you, buddy, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Take care.